just want host. I don't know how to get to this. I don't want lives. There we go. I think I figured it out. That's why. So dirty. Glasses are so always dirty. Hello, hello. You're just hopping on. Tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Hopefully they let your comments come through. Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're new here, hello. Hello, hello. Oh, sorry, guys. My nose starts itching every time I get on a live. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Anybody gonna join me tonight? Krista, California. You were here that one night. Were you here for the mini read night that you couldn't get your comment to come through? Was that you? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Oh, it just glitched. Did it glitch for everybody else? Yes, ma'am. Okay. I thought so. I'm usually pretty good at remembering. Not always, but excuse me, most of the time. So we're going to talk about grounding tonight. 2 types of grounding. Grounding your life and then grounding or earthing, I guess is kind of what they call it. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So I'll just wait another minute or so and see if anybody else is going to hop on. And then I'll get started. And I just realized I always forget to put something. My hands are so dry. I've been washing them like crazy. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Hello. We're just waiting for another minute or so, and then I'm going to get started. If you're new here, tell us who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Nobody wants to stay on. It's all right. Well, I appreciate you being here, Krista. I haven't drank enough water and I've just been like dying of thirst like the last 3 days. Is it Rose? I don't want to say it right. Is it Horsham, Pennsylvania? Did I say that right? Hopefully I didn't slaughter the heck out of it. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Yes, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, guys. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and who will be here will be here. So if you're new here, my name is Renee, and the reason why I'm here is I started my TikTok in March of 2024, so it's been a little over 2 years. I'll catch you later, taking husband home from the hospital. Oh, I hope everything's okay. No problem. Hopefully I'll catch you again, or you'll catch me again. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're new here, my name is Renee, and I'm just getting started. Just gonna give you a brief overview of why I'm here, and then we'll get started. So like I said, my name is Renee, and I've started my TikTok in March of 2024. The reason I started my TikTok is because in September of 2023, for TikTok purposes, my husband unalived himself. And so after that, that's when I was led to my purpose, which is to help other people with loss and trauma. And we talk about all kinds of different things here, healing and all kinds of things. I only have 2 rules here. My first rule is we talk absolutely no politics. That's just not at all what my page is about. And the second one is I just ask that you be kind. And if you can't do that, then I just ask that you hop off and keep scrolling. I always like to say I'm on my journey of life where I am, and you're on your journey of life where you are, and none of us are going to agree on everything. So we agree to disagree here. And if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Tell me who you are and where you're from. We're just getting started tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about grounding, 2 types of grounding. Grounding as in earthing, and then we're going to talk about grounding your life. And my glasses always seem to be dirty right in that one spot. So I apologize. I got to fix this. It's right in my view. It's driving me nuts. Like I said, if you're new here, tell me who you are, where you're from. Come chat with me. We're not shy here. Like I said, I started my page a little over 2 years ago. The reason I started my page is because my husband unalived himself in September. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. I'm not sure who sent them. In September of 2023. And that's when I discovered that I had abilities to talk to my spirit guides, and they slowly breadcrumbed me to my purpose, I guess you could say. My husband and I were together for 32 years. We were never apart more than 2 weeks in those 32 years. And so everybody just kept telling me after he passed, Renee, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I literally didn't know how to do that. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. I just didn't know how to do that. I could barely breathe. Lulu, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Is it Margarita? Thank you for the follow and the share. I appreciate that. And so, like I said, I was led to my purpose, which is to be here to help other people through their loss and through their traumas. And so that's what we do here. We talk about loss. So if you have a loss, please share. Tell us how you're doing. If you're not doing, how it's going. We talk about other things too, uplifting others, and just kind of full circle healing, right? Like what can you do if you've lost somebody like me, and I lost my entire world of 32 years crumbled. Hey Marie, how are you? And so I had to learn how to live life all over again without him, and what I was going to do, because like I said, my world crumbled. I'm doing okay. I'm kind of tired, and I laid down and took a nap, and I shouldn't have probably done that. I feel better, but at the same time, you know how you're like, I don't want to get up. Hey Jen, how are you? So we're talking about, we're going to talk about 2 types of grounding tonight. We're going to talk about earthing grounding, and we're going to talk about grounding your life. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee. Welcome. So like I said, we're going to talk about grounding, and the first one is the earthing. The earth, what they call earthing. This is for, and I'm just going to put this out there so I don't get in trouble. This is for entertainment purposes only. But the human body is highly conductive. When you make contact with the earth's surface, barefoot, when you're barefoot, you absorb negatively charged electrons, can't read my own writing, which help regulate our body's electrical state and promote a healing, anti-inflammatory, and calming effect. This practice aims to reconnect the body with its natural electrical environment. I cannot talk or read tonight. We're going to fix that. Why can I not talk tonight? Somebody doesn't want me to get this out. Is it Robbie? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate this. I promise I never have this much trouble. This is useful for people who spend long periods indoors. Sorry, guys. So, what are the key benefits of grounding, right? Getting your feet. And I always say, you know, it helps with the healing, right? If you can get your feet in dirt, grass, water, and we're going to talk about the water part at the end. But some of the key benefits, and I didn't even know some of these. So some of the key benefits are it reduces inflammation and pain. It helps manage chronic inflammation, speeds up wound healing, which I didn't know. I've got to tell my sister-in-law that because she's had an open wound for a couple months. So I was going to tell her that. That was one of the things I did not know. Another benefit is stress reduction. It lowers cortisol levels and promotes a calmer nervous system. So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are and where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. Kind of got a rough start there, but we're going to get it. Another one is improve sleep. It helps normalize day-night cortisol rhythms, resulting in deeper, better sleep. So I know me, soon as now the weather's getting nice, I'm going to be out there with my feet in the grass. I love to be barefoot anyway. So anybody else grow up barefoot, running on grass and rocks and road and everything? I grew up barefoot. I don't know about the rest of you. Hey, Jesse, thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. And so another benefit is improved circulation. It enhances blood flow and oxygen to the organs. So like I said, anytime you can get outside, and you can get outside and, like I said, put your feet in the grass, you know, dirt, any of that. It's really amazing. I didn't have shoes in the summer. Oh, I know. I lived barefoot. I still love being barefoot. So I can't quite walk on the rocks like we used to play on the rocks, right? So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Tonight we're talking about two types of grounding. We're going to talk about grounding as in earthing, and we're going to talk about grounding your life. Still do, Marie. Good for you. I try to as much as possible. And so those are some of the benefits of grounding, or is what we call earthing, right? So as you can tell, like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only, so I don't get myself in trouble. But there's a lot of benefits with pain, stress, improved sleep. So get outside, get your feet in the ground, in the earth, barefoot. Now we're going to talk about grounding your life, intentionally connecting with the present moment, anchoring your mind, your body, and your soul to reduce anxiety and overwhelm, right? And I know for me, one of my biggest lessons in my 2.5-year journey is being present. My guides have like hammered that home. Renee, you have to be present. So thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. All right. So through techniques like deep breathing and sensory awareness, there's different ways that you can ground your life. One of the ways is physical grounding. And they call it the 5-4-3-2-1 method. And I wasn't familiar with this. This was a new one for me. So it's acknowledge 5 things, right? 5 things you see. 4 you can touch. 3 you can hear. 2 you can smell. And 1 you can taste. And I guess that just kind of brings you present, right? One of the other things is deep breathing. And I've heard these techniques before, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, and wait 4 seconds before you do it again. And if the more you repeat this, the more it helps to like stress, relaxing, just kind of getting present and in your moment, right? Bringing yourself back to your center. So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Sorry guys, this sweatshirt's gotta go. Suddenly I'm having a hot flash. So how was everybody's day? Anybody gonna talk to me tonight, or are they not letting comments come through? I see Marie and Jesse's on here. Thanks, Jesse. Okay, Jen, I'm gonna try and read your thing. 5-4-3-2-1. I've used that one plenty of times when I was counseling. Okay, see, and I had never heard of that, but I really like it. Now that I've seen it, I'm going to try and use that one. One of the other things is body awareness focus. So focus on the weight of your body. So if you're in a chair, kind of focus on your weight, or if you're on your feet, focus on your, made lunch for him. You made lunch for him? Well, that's good. And don't stress, Marie. You know it's all going to work out, right? It's all going to work out how it's supposed to, like we talked about. Just have faith. So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. And you know that you always got me to lean on if it does happen, right? So if you're just hopping on tonight, we're talking about two types of grounding. The grounding as in earthing, and grounding being present, grounding your life. So like I said, focus on the weight of your body in a chair, or if you're on your feet, focus on the weight as you're standing on the floor. Stretching, jumping jacks also help release adrenaline. And I know for me, I go to the gym, right? So when my mind is muddled, I would go to the gym. I've talked about this multiple times. And I walk on the treadmill, and I just love the gym. It helps. I know it's an adrenaline something. It's not really my forte. So all I can tell you is it does help my adrenaline. It helps my head when it's muddled. So exercise, basically, right? Get outside, walk. That's why I tell you, if you can get outside into nature, take a hike, walk, do something, run, more power, that's going to help you. Mental games breaks down. So it, like I said, it helps you mentally, right? Darn it. When I took off that, I messed up my glasses. So it really helps with, like I said, the mental, you get that adrenaline going. It helps when you're, what I say is muddled, right? My head was muddled a lot after I lost my husband. So you were there. Well, and I'm still here, Marie. I'm not going anywhere. You know that, right? So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. We're talking about grounding tonight. Right now we're talking about grounding your life. And so now we're going to go into the earthing, but with water, right? So if you're not familiar, if you immerse yourself or submerge yourself in natural bodies of water, that also helps you to ground, right? You're grounding with its earth. Like I've always said, grass, dirt, sand, water, that's grounding. You can also take a shower, just standing in the shower, intentionally visualizing, that water washing away all of the stress. I know a lot of people, when they say they clear their energy, we're made of energy, and a lot of times we pick up on energy, some of us more than others, right? And so one of the things that I learned, how I clear my energy, but a lot of people use the shower. They pretend that water is, they visualize, not pretend, they visualize that water is washing away all of those bad energies that you picked up from other people or whatever. So for me, I was taught to pretend like I had a bucket of gold, visualize that bucket of gold above my head and dumping it down and watching that gold come through my body and taking that bad energy out. And so that's how I do it. And I just say it's my intention to clear my energy. And then, like I said, I visualize that bucket of gold being dumped down through my body, clearing out all of that bad negative energy. So, and it really does help. For me, I discovered that I can pick up energy just driving through a town. And how it comes out for me is I get a stomach ache. Some people, it's different. But for me, if I get a really bad stomach ache suddenly, like usually when I leave the grocery store, sometimes not as much anymore, but I used to get a stomach ache almost every single time I went to the grocery store. And so on the way home, I'd be like, okay, and I'd clear my energy on the way home from the grocery store. And then pretty soon, the stomach ache would go away. So if you're noticing that after maybe being around lots of people or in big groups of people and you're struggling, you need to ground, it really does work. But so like I said, if you're noticing you're getting some kind of a symptom, right, in your body, then maybe you've picked up something that isn't yours. It's not your energy. I wish somebody would have told me that when I was back in school, right? So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Okay, so water helps wash that away. Daily routines. Now we're going to talk about daily routines and grounding your life. Thank you for all the likes, guys. I do appreciate that. So daily routines. Establishing routines. Create a consistent wake up time and sleep time, right? And for me, that's really important sometimes, although it's kind of, that kind of all went out the window, my sleep, when my husband passed. But I notice for me, because I have fibromyalgia, it helps my fibromyalgia symptoms, when I regulate my sleep patterns. If they get really, really out of whack, then I notice I get more symptoms. Mindful eating, right? Savor your food. Focusing on flavors and textures. Really chewing, taking your time, savoring it. I know for me, when we were in school, we didn't have much time. And so we would eat very, very quickly. And so I had to learn how to slow down and learn how to eat basically all over again. So that way my food would digest better. Thanks for the likes, Jen. I appreciate it. Hold on. I hadn't drank any water in a couple days, and now I'm just like crazy drinking. The other one is gratitude practice. And we talk about gratitude. I think gratitude comes up in just about everything we talk about. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. Tonight we're talking about two different types of grounding, basically, as in earthing and for healing. And the other one is grounding your life, being present. And right now we're talking about daily routines and how that affects our life. So gratitude, the practice of gratitude. I get up and I try every day to do a gratitude journal, or write in my gratitude journal, just what I'm grateful for. Because the more we put out there that we're grateful, the more it comes back, right? So the more positive, and the more you can think positive, and the more positive you put out there, then the universe responds likewise and sends that positive back. So keeping a gratitude journal. If you struggle with anxiety and depression, I know for me, sometimes I do have a little bit of anxiety. And when that anxiety is happening, if I sit down and write 10 things that I'm grateful for, generally it will bring me out of that anxiety. Let's see. Limit the info that we're getting, right? We have information coming at us 24/7 now, right? With our phones. So limit maybe our social media. If you're struggling with any kind of stress or anxiety or depression, start limiting what you're taking in, right? Hi, what's your name? Hi, and where you're from. If you're just hopping on and you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. Tonight we're talking about two different types of grounding, the earthing type and grounding your life. And right now we're talking about the different routines and how that affects our life. And so one of the things is limiting information, right? Like I just said, if you're struggling, maybe it's time to start limiting, what kind of social media you're putting in. Because what you're putting in, what you're taking in, that affects your body. Right? So if you're taking in fear and negativity all the time, that's going to bring up anxieties. That's going to bring up fear. That's going to, all of those type of things. So limiting the information that you're putting in. Okay. So basically the takeaway for tonight is grounding helps you shift from a reactive state to a calm state, productive state, improving your overall quality of life, right? So if you can get outside, like I said, initially we talked about grounding. If you can get outside and get your feet in the grass, the dirt, sand, water, whatever it may be, right? Get yourself grounded. That really does help. So if you're just hopping on and you're new here, tell us who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, I have a YouTube channel, and that's under Scorpio Medium. If you're not a subscriber over there, I would love it if you went over there and subscribed. Like I said, it's under Scorpio Medium. You'll find all the videos that I have here uploaded over there. The only difference is if you enjoy my lives and you'd like to catch one, and you missed one, you can go over to Scorpio Medium and catch those lives. I am here Sunday through Wednesday. Sunday nights, we started doing Real Talk with Renee and Jen. My friend Jen joins me, and we just talk about everyday life topics, right? And so Sunday nights, Real Talk. I cannot talk tonight. Real Talk with Renee and Jen. And then I am here, like I said, Sunday through Wednesday. Wednesday nights, we do mini reads. If you're not familiar, I am a psychic medium. And so we do psychic questions on Wednesday nights, just yes or no questions. So if you've got a question that you've been having a burning desire to find out, hit us up on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and see if we can answer that for you. Just no health questions. So if you didn't catch that, I am a psychic medium, and so I do readings also. So if you would like to connect with somebody who has crossed over on the other side, you can do that by sending me an email, which I'll find in my bio down below. I do offer half-an-hour sessions and hour sessions, so check that out if you're interested in connecting with somebody who's crossed over. Last but not least, I do have a Venmo down below too. If you like my content and you would like to leave me a tip, never expected, but always greatly appreciated. Just wanted to add one more thing. I did start doing an email newsletter every month last month. So if you would like just a monthly dose of some information and some uplifting stuff, just send me your email either through a DM or email me your email address, and I can put you on that list. So like I said, tonight we were talking about grounding. So if you missed it tonight, head on over to YouTube tomorrow, because it usually takes me about 24 hours to get it uploaded. And check out, we talked about grounding tonight, like earthing and grounding your life. Anybody got anything they want to talk about tonight? We do talk about loss here. So anybody's got any loss they would like to talk about? Anybody? Anybody want to talk to me? Nobody? Going once? I don't know why I'm so thirsty. Like I said, I hadn't drank in a couple days. Now I'm like dying of thirst. All right, well, if nobody has anything else they want to say, I appreciate all the love and everything everybody's given me tonight. I hope you all have a great night. Remember to make tomorrow great, because it is a choice. I will be back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And until we meet again,